the years that are emerging on in the emergent times, we have come to realize that we can't do competitive sports without factoring in the issue of mental well-being for the athletes, the sportsmen, or the women in sports generally. They need help, especially to cope with their general well-being, mental health, and other areas that are emerging even as sports become a discipline throughout the world. Many of the sportsmen and sportswomen, oftentimes they have no one to work with them to be able to go through the issues, family issues, investment decisions, coping with issues to do with loneliness, coping with issues to handle their celebrity status, coping with issues to handle when they rise from one level to the other. And one very important thing, and especially in the Kenyan context, we realize that these sportsmen and sportswomen, and especially in the area of athletes and swimming and the others, they are coming in when probably their background has not exposed them to the world stadium, to the world arena, and therefore they become very overwhelmed, even to handle something as simple as an interview at the end of their win. So they become overwhelmed and they would need somebody to help them walk. In psychology, and especially in the area of sports psychology, what we are doing is we are trying to understand this man, this woman, right from his upbringing all the way to the international stage, walking every other level, handling that fame that comes sometimes very suddenly, and then the overwhelming feelings of like you have been injected into an area that probably along the way you have never even thought about. So our work in sports psychology in the area of mental health for the competitive sports is to help them handle the changes. And some of them are so abrupt, some of them are so dynamic, some of them need a completely different paradigm shift. So basically that's why we are there, to help our sports people to cope. I speak in mind and especially about the Kenyan context. One major advantage of enrolling in the Momentum Sports Africa in the psychology program is that they have somebody to work with them, somebody to help them handle when they come through or they get to meet these overwhelming feelings, to handle their celebrity status, to handle their change status altogether, to handle their investments, and to handle themselves so that we don't get into the situation that we have seen in the last 5 years. Kenya alone has witnessed about 6 to 10 deaths through suicide, because when the sports people get to a certain level, they feel overwhelmed, and then because of poor investment decisions, they lose everything, and then the end result is death through suicide and some other mental health conditions. Therefore, as I sit here and as you watch from wherever you're watching, my call, and this is from the professional platform, is for all the sports people, and especially in this nation, to enroll in a program like this we are having in Momentum Sports Africa, so that at the end of the day, you are not walking alone. You have somebody to support you. You have somebody who has walked the talk to be able to hold your hand, so that once you get to this level of your celebrity, you have gotten these wins, probably there have been some downturns in your life, you have somewhere to revert to, and somebody also to help you even not to get down, so that you can sustain the wins, you can sustain the success, you can sustain all that which goes with competitive sports. So my call is enroll as fast as possible